Hello, I'm Cherry and welcome back to episode 2 of how I'm decorating my English country cottage for Christmas. So as you may have gathered last week, it's a little bit of a process. So each week I'm making more progress, but I'm showing it to you in real time. So that's why it's all slightly delayed. But this week I thought I'd show you what I'm doing to my door. Now, it has this winter wreath on it already, which was made, I'll give you a closer look, which was made by the rather phenomenal Louisa, and I will leave her links below. I always link to Louisa because her wreaths are quite extraordinary and I can't stop talking about them. But one thing Louisa did say when she sent this was that I may want to Christmassify it. And that's what I'm going to do. I've got full permission from her to do it. I'm adding some dried oranges, I'm adding some velvet ribbon, and I'm going to add a larger ribbon to the top here, and maybe some bells, but I'm not sure. So let's start today's episode with that. So I'm going to put all of the decorating at the start of these videos, and then once I've done those segments, I'll move on to showing you the rest of what's happened this week, because there's always quite a lot. But do stay tuned, because once I finished here at the cottage, I then start decorating down at my homeware store in Petworth, which is called Homebody, and my gorgeous country cafe, which is also in Petworth, and that's called Cherries. Surprise, surprise. But just a quickie, we launched my first ever modern English country Christmas gift guide this week. If you'd like a copy of that, I will leave a link below, and the next time the Daily Homebody goes out, there will be a link for you to download it. It's gorgeous, and you can just pore over it with a cup of tea one afternoon. So I'm here in my very empty dining room. I've pushed the table up against the wall so that I could carry on tweaking the foliage display that goes over the dining table. I just needed some room. But I've also set up a little sort of crafting floristry station here on the table. And I want to take you through my decorating kit. It's all in this basket. So if you've seen me walking around Petworth with a blue basket full of ribbon and all of that, bunches of wire cutters, lots of ribbon, and of course cable ties, then that would be me. So that is basically what I keep in this basket, but it does go everywhere with me at this time of year. But some of the things that I carry with me all the time are pine cones. I've got dried oranges, they're from last year actually. Stacks of ribbon. I've got lots of little bells. I never throw ribbon away. This bag has been going in this same paper bag for years. But I will always find something to do with ribbon. And I can always tell what colour schemes I've used throughout the years. So I guess that was a lot of red that year. Apart from the cable ties and the wire. I have some little gold tacks and a little hammer, just in case I need to hang something. Pinking shears. I always carry pinking shears. I find these are so useful, especially, where are they? Here they are. When I'm cutting paper or card, I've been using the pinking shears this week to cut some vintage style postcards. Something else I use a lot of, teeny tiny pine cones. A whole box of them here. I think I got these from Hobbycraft. My trusty glue gun that I bought from Woolworths, which doesn't exist anymore. And it's absolutely caked in glue. So this is older than my children, still going strong. I have actually ordered another one because I suddenly started freaking out slightly that it might be a bit dangerous now. And this year, as you can tell, if you've seen the episodes from In Homebody, I'm going crazy for more paper chains and some bow garland. That's it. That's pretty much. Apart from the decorations that I already have. So lots of lights, got lots of baubles, but I'm not buying those again. And that's the point of this. I get the same stuff out every year. Sometimes I replace lights and things like that. But a lot of my decorating, foliage, ribbon, dried oranges, maybe some little bells, some paper chains, books, candles, it's all of that. And I change the theme or the colour by changing the ribbon or some fabric and changing wrapping paper. You can do a lot by just changing the wrapping paper. You can create an entire theme with your ribbon, wrapping paper, you know, that sort of thing. Colours of candles, that's just the way I do it. Okay, let's get on. Got lots to do. So as I'm tweaking the wreath, not changing it at all, I'm taking a dried orange segment and I've got some wire and I'm literally poking the wire through the orange segment like that. This wire is sort of doubled up because I want to twist it, and I need the wire to be quite thick because I'm poking it into the wreath. And because of the way the wreath is constructed, I can literally poke this length of wire, because it's quite thick, into the wreath, squish it a little bit, and because these orange segments are really quite sort of light, it will stay put. I'll do the others and then I'll put them on the wreath, and then we'll add the bows. So here's my length of wire here. I've doubled it up. I'm going to poke it through the orange segment like that, and then I will twist it around. Okay, and then I can quite easily poke it in. I've got 2 little oranges that I put in there already. The wreath itself is made on a moss base with lots and lots and lots of wire. So that's why it's just so easy to adapt it. It's almost like I'm hooking the segments of orange in. I realise that I'm showing you how I'm decorating for Christmas, and I'm starting with one of the main sort of decorations already complete. I just don't feel like we should have to start from scratch with every single part of the decorating. I had this here. I'm as busy as all of you, and so I decided just to adapt this and make it more Christmassy, as opposed to making a new one. And I think you don't choose your battles, because decorating for Christmas isn't a battle, but we do have to manage our time, and it is difficult. And I think there's an awful lot of pressure to just completely renovate your house for Christmas. Well, that's just bonkers. I'm a big make, do and mender, and I like sort of tweaking things and just adapting various decorations like this for each season. This will stay up long after Christmas. I've still got my Easter one. I only just changed it. I've got an odd number of them, and I like that because it's quite a higgledy wreath. So I'm back inside, I've added the oranges, and now I'm adding these velvet bows, and they're in a burgundy velvet. I'm going to add 5 of them, and as you can see, they're quite little. I think that that's fine for this wreath, and each length of ribbon is it's sort of 15 to 16 inches long. So that makes a ribbon this size. I make one whilst it's still attached to the roll, so I know that I've got a long enough piece. I don't cut it beforehand. And then what I do is I just do a really, really rough bow, and then spend the next 3.5 years tweaking it until it looks half decent. Any bow experts out there, drop me a comment. One thing that I think you should know about this particular Christmas here at this cottage is that it's going to be quite sort of full. So I don't subscribe to certain trends when it comes to Christmas. So I'm not doing a Ralph Lauren Christmas or a Nancy Myers Christmas. I'm not doing all of that, because I think that sort of can cause unnecessary pressure, certainly on me. I think it's brilliant. I love those trends for inspiration, but that's all I use them for. I don't completely change what I'm doing or what I have. But what I do know is this, and this would be, if I could give you one tip, green foliage. Use foliage. It's a game changer. It's a lifesaver. It's a money saver. Go bonkers with your foliage. Go bonkers with branches. Go bonkers with twigs. Tell you why I'm going bonkers with twigs in another episode, because that's part of another project, but I'm not doing that this week. There we go. And invariably at a Christmas tree farm, they sell bunches of offcuts. I gather those up like my life depended on it, and I decorate everything. I do have 2 shops and a home to decorate, but I still decorate everything. If you're going for a slightly maximalist Christmas, which I know it's a buzzword at the minute, so I don't particularly want to use it. I just like to call it, I don't know, full, cozy. If you're going for one of those types of Christmases, then foliage is your best friend, and lots of it. I promise you. Always double what you think and then potentially double it again. So I'm quite close for a reason. I've done the ribbons and then I've got these little pieces of wire like this. Now these, I don't think you can see it. Can you see it there? Yeah. These are bauble hangers. You hook them onto baubles. And I've got loads of them. They all just sort of hang around year after year. You can just use a little tiny bit of wire. But these are quite good because they're just that little bit thicker. And then I've got my silly bows here. Just literally tuck a piece of the wire through the back of the bow. And then I just create sort of hook with it. Wire and string and glue and cable ties to make it all look so peaceful. So I put these little bows in already. I don't think you needed to watch me doing all of that, but I did think I'd show you the last one. And I'm going to tuck that one back here. Okay, 2 more things to do. I'm going to put another ribbon here, and then I'm going to put, oh, I just got the most amazing smell of rosemary. This is why it's so lovely to have natural wreaths like this. I've made a longer ribbon here, and there we have it. You know, I don't know whether I need bells. I think that might be overkill. I might just leave it. Step away from the wreath then, love. So those of you who've been watching for any length of time may remember that around this time of year I collect foliage for inside the cottage, but also around the edge or the outside of the deli, and now this year homebody. So look at this. Here we are, brand new secateurs. Daisy's got the big IKEA bag to collect the cuttings. I am now going up the hill. I am questioning my life choices at this point. Oh, I do like those, Daisy. I'm too old for this. No, I'm not. I'm never too old. No, that was wrong. It's all of you growth. First one. Ow. So down at homebody, got my foliage here, and I'm now going to start decorating the window and the door for Christmas. Here we go. So it's all up and around there. It's been so windy. It's all sort of come off. It looks quite messy actually. Being attacked.
자, 빅이 케이크. 와, 깍.
So I thought I'd show you how I'm decorating these books for Christmas. Now these are antique books. It's Molière, and there's 3 volumes here. I think I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 because that's the way we read. But they're beautifully bound, red leather, like that. And I'm going to use some velvet ribbon. I saw this idea a couple of years ago, and I saw it in a shop, and I don't know where it was. I don't know whether it was in Rye, in East Sussex maybe, or Tunbridge Wells. Not sure. So I've got my books here, and then I've got a length of contrasting velvet ribbon, and this is a champagne colour that I'm using here. And I'm going to cut a length off, but just enough to tie them together with a little bow. So that should be enough like that. And I'm going to tie a little bow around the books. I will fiddle with the bow afterwards. It's right about now I need a little finger. I used to ask one of my twins to put their fingers on the middle of the bow. I'm not going to get too fussed about this bow at that point. What I'm going to do now is tuck a little vintage Christmas card. This is more like a postcard actually. Just tuck that in there like that. And then I've made another bow in this contrasting ribbon here. And I'm just going to tuck that down there so it's sort of held in place. And then to finish it off, you can pop, I'm putting a dried Annabelle hydrangea in, but you can use holly or sprigs of rosemary. And that is what the books look like. So this is perfect for decorating at Christmas. So if you've got some beautiful books that you just want to make something special out of, then you can just dress some of them up like this. You certainly wouldn't do your entire bookshelf, but in little corners or little vignettes, you can do that. Or if you are buying someone some books for Christmas, certainly books like these Molière, antique books, older books, vintage books, rare books. This is a really nice way to wrap. If I was giving the books as a gift, I would do them exactly like this, but I think I would lose the flower if I was just displaying them at home. So, because I think like that, you just can't see them. There's no point in that. We want to be able to see our lovely books. It's things like this where you get to be creative for, I would say, about 3 minutes. Not only does it calm your nervous system because you're doing something creative, no matter how simple. I will not have people criticize simple crafts, but it is a really, really low effort but highly effective way of decorating little corners, especially if you're into this sort of slightly more traditional way of decorating, which some of you will be and some of you won't be. This is almost like a cross between, I don't know, dark academia, Ralph Lauren, Little Women, and Dickensian Christmas. Gracious, yeah. It's a lot of vibes right there. I have another outfit of the day. So this one it's not a series, but so it's a skirt that I bought a couple of weeks ago, and it was delivered last weekend. And so I've been trying it out with lots of different outfits. The reason I want to make a series out of it is because I think I'm going to be wearing this skirt a lot to various different things. I think I'll wear it out to lunch. I think I might dress it up a bit and wear it to a party. I might just wear it to a pub with friends. I might wear it on the late night shopping night down at Homebody in Petworth. So I just wanted to show you how I'm wearing it in different ways. I'll link to it down below. It's handmade. I love their clothes. And I love that I managed to buy one because I think they sell out quite quickly. So I'm excited for this one. So let's crack on with this week's outfit of the day. So starting off, as you can see, with a black turtleneck, polo neck. I call them polo necks. I think they're more widely called turtlenecks now. I think that's more American turtlenecks, but I like polo neck. I'm wearing very simple gold jewellery with this at the moment. I have a gold bangle and then my rings. I don't have any earrings, and that's for a reason. But this is the main part of my outfit for today. This is this gorgeous black watch style skirt, and this is from Smock London. I love this. It's made in a brushed cotton, but because of the hand smocking at the top, it's quite heavy. I love smocking. I was raised in smocked dresses. I wish I'd kept them. I wish my mum had kept them. But I love this hand smocking detail. It's beautiful. It's got the black watch, and then the smocking has been done in gold thread. That adds that wonderful sort of slightly dressier Christmas element to it, which is why I'm wearing the gold jewellery. Very simple gold jewellery. The reason I like this particular skirt is again because it's not around this part of my tummy, but this elasticated waist is part of the design. It's what makes Smock London beautiful and gorgeous. But for me, it's perfect because I love an elasticated waist. It's ankle length, as you can see. It's different. I have a black watch kilt. It's different to that in as much as this is brushed cotton and it's just literally pull on. So it's more versatile than the kilt, but you get that same sort of look and feel. For this particular outfit, and I've got black tights on, this skirt doesn't have pockets, by the way, which is fine. But for this particular outfit, I'm going to pair it with these navy patent Mary Janes. They're heeled Mary Janes, and it's sort of quite a block heel. I've had these for a while. I think they're from Hobbs a long time ago, but I've kept them. And the strap goes around the ankle, so not across the front. But I love these. They're so comfortable. So like I said, I could go to work or go out to lunch. I'm never in heels anymore. Let me make that clear. Like many of us, I lived in heels. I didn't take trainers in my bag and change into them when I got to work. I would leave my house in the morning in heels. I would walk to the train station. I would do a full day, and then I would maybe go out in the evening and then walk back from the train station. I did a lot of walking in heels. I know the drill when it comes to heels, and I'm glad those days are over. I've got to be honest with you. But for my own enjoyment and for a look that I want to create, so this isn't about trying to make my legs look longer or making my hips swing or anything like that. This is because I love these shoes and I love this skirt and I love this top and I love this whole thing. So I would only wear this outfit with these shoes if I was driving to and from or a taxi or being carried. Here's a bit more of a close-up, the skirt and the shoes. I feel cozy but slightly glam. I love it. However, I do want to dress this outfit up. And the way I'm going to do that is with a huge necklace. It's this one. It's costume jewellery. I think my mum bought it for me a few Christmases ago, and I think it was from Bowden. This gives me a bit of sparkle, and it's Christmas, and I love sparkle at Christmas. I just went round the corner to do this up. Couldn't do it up without looking. But this is the reason why I'm not wearing any other jewellery. I do have to paint my nails. I could wear a tiny, tiny pair of maybe some diamond studs or tiny pair of pearls. But that's the sort of thing that I would forget to do. This would be all I could cope with. Remembering not to wear boots or trainers, and remembering that to set this outfit off, I would have to wear this necklace. But this is it so far. Got one final piece to add, which, seeing as it's almost winter, has to be the coat. This coat is vintage. very vintage. This coat was vintage when I bought it in 2000. I remember it really clearly. I was at drama school and my mum and I were shopping one winter Saturday afternoon. I think it was before Christmas. And I was living in Notting Hill and I loved it in Notting Hill. I had the most wonderful time living there. I mean, who wouldn't? I was a theatre student living in Notting Hill in the year 2000. It was wonderful. But my mum bought me this coat. It's an emerald green velvet with this fur collar and then this belt here. I remember being invited to the National Theatre's Christmas party. I went with some friends of mine and I wore this coat and not very much underneath, it has to be said. It had a bodice and some trousers, but I didn't want anything to ruin the outfit. You know what it's like. So when I see my own children going out in clothes that I don't think will keep them warm and they're like, I'm fine, I have to remember that I did that as well. And I did it wearing this coat. This coat is so thin. It's not lined, it's just barely constructed. It's just two bits of velvet put together with this little collar and this little elasticated belt. But I love it. I love the colour, I love the shape, I love the story behind it. I don't know the story prior to me buying it, but that moment with my mum in Notting Hill, in that sort of blue indigo light that you get just before Christmas on a Saturday around, I don't know, 3-4 p.m, that's something that I'll carry with me forever. And it's certainly something that I carry with me whenever I wear this coat. So this is it. This is my outfit of the week. It's all green, it's quite Christmassy, and I love it. So in case you needed any convincing at all to grow dahlias next summer, here we are. We're into November and I still have flowers. We've not had a frost, but we're into November. So this has been, July to November, constant. My little garden out here has gone berserk and is totally overgrown, and I think I'm waiting for it all for the frost to come so I can just level it. But look, dahlias galore still. They obviously slow down, but I haven't been deadheading as often as I should. But the fact is, flowers, November, months of them. So this is certainly one of the first places I start to decorate here in the cottage. This lovely mantle here. You'll notice that one of my candles isn't lit. It's got one of those tiny little wicks that no matter how much I dig it out, it will not light. It's being very stubborn, so leave that one with me. I'm excited to say I found some new Staffordshire dogs. I love my Staffordshire dogs. I found them last Sunday. I drove past them on the way to collect my daughter, and I am not kidding you. I didn't speed in the car because I don't do that. But we got back there pretty quickly. So now I've got 2 pairs of my little dogs here. I don't know, I might leave it at that. I do love them. I liked them and I got them because they were a different size. I've got the larger ones here and then these here. If I find 2 little ones, then maybe I'll get them, but I'm not sort of actively looking. Now this amazing Sandown Park picture here, this is actually, it's almost being stored here at the cottage, as this is an item that is for sale on the website, as we're opening an antiques and collectibles sort of section of the website. And being in Petworth, it's perfect for us because Petworth is a sort of antiques capital. So I'm doing something different with this whole area this year. Last year, I decorated the mantle with green foliage, and I decorated these candle sconces with bundles of greenery and velvet ribbons, and in actual fact, I kept these ribbons up all year. They're a little bit dusty now, so I'll probably replace them. I quite like the colour, but I'll certainly take them down and give them a little zhuzh But I think this is quite interesting, and this is something you may want to try. I would always tend, if I find something that works, just to repeat it. And I don't think that that's always a good idea. That's why I love doing something like this YouTube channel, because it forces me out of my decorative comfort zone, because I'm thinking, well, I'd like to get a bit more creative for my viewers this year. And it's great because it means that I try different styles of decorating. It's not crazy, don't worry, I'm not going to paint the whole thing white. But what I am going to do is I'm going to restructure how I decorate just this end. So I'm going to start at the top and work my way down. And I'm going to start with putting some paper chains along the top, draping them like a garland. And then I'll work down. And I've got to be honest, I think a lot of this will go. It's a huge bumblebee. They're fine. It's just it's as big as my head. I understand that it can be frustrating to watch something that isn't finished. But I don't quite know how else to do it, because I don't have the greenery yet, but I do want to start the process. So you will see over the weeks like a building of decoration. Yeah, sorry. So I've got this paper chain from last year. I don't really buy new decorations. I've got to be honest. I buy lots of ribbon, and I can buy, sometimes buy new lights, but I do not buy new Christmas decorations year to year. I tend to just, use lots of greenery. That makes up the bulk of it. Let me just pop that there. So, as you can see, I might leave it like that. That's how good I am. I'll put that one there, and I will put the other one in the right place. Okay, lots of upping and downing. That's a technical term that you can only use when hanging paper chains, just so we're clear. Then that one can go there. I love these, just the draping of a paper chain. Yeah, that's about right. Everything is going well today, guys. Yay! So that just stays there. That's just a little tack. And I'm going to have to rethink these candles.